And I think we are now recording. So I will begin. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to have you with me. And yeah, I can see people here from many different places, which makes me really happy. So today we are doing a webinar called Introducing Dynamic Lessons. Are you future ready? We can see a lovely image on the screen from our life program. This is taken in Vietnam, and there's a lady here collecting water lilies. All right, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is Will, or William. My surname is Lachette, and I am a senior academic consultant for National Geographic Learning. I have been working in English language teaching since 2001. For most of that time, I was working as an English teacher. I am from the UK, but I now live and work in my second home, my new home, Singapore, which is where I am right now. I've just noticed that Carmen in Romania says it is 4 a.m. in Romania. I can't believe that you're here at 4 a.m., Carmen. So thank you so much for joining me. You're going to be tired later on, but I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's worth it. Okay, so today I am going to be presenting to you dynamic lessons on Spark. Okay, so dynamic lessons. This is a presentation tool. Okay, so if you've been to our webinars before, you have probably seen me using the classroom presentation tool. Dynamic lessons is a brand new tool that we have, digital tool. I'm very excited about it. We believe that this is going to be a game changer in how teachers present content in the classroom and how schools plan and manage their classes. So I'm really excited to share this with you today. So today's lesson is from the intermediate level. You can see that on the right of your screen. The intermediate level of Life, 3rd edition. This is the brand new edition of Life. It's just come out. And yeah, this lesson is for kind of B1 to B1 plus, kind of higher B1 level students on the CEFR. And the lesson is from Unit 3, which is titled Opportunities. I wonder what kind of opportunities we're going to be talking about. So let's start with a warmer. Okay, so I should say as well, this is a model lesson. Okay, so we're going to be going through the content. I'm going to be giving you some teaching ideas. I'm kind of pretending that you are my students. Okay, so this is a warmer we might do to introduce the topic. All right, so we're going to do this. We're going to go through. We want to complete the sentences so that they are true for you. Remember, this is about opportunities. Okay, so the first one says, when I was a child, I wanted to be a. So I'd like you to type into the chat box for me. What did you want to be when you were a child? Let's see. Gibran says, I wanted to be an architect or a designer. Owen wanted to be a pilot. Letty wanted to be a nurse. Sherry, an astronaut. Samantha, you're the same as me, a vet. I wanted to be a vet as well. Tomoko wanted to be a panda. Wanted to be a panda. That's really interesting. I've never seen that before. Okay, a director, a teacher. Oh, Tam, you achieved your goal. Well done. You did become a teacher. A paleontologist, a rapper, another astronaut, an interpreter, another teacher. Satish, you did it as well. Okay, actually, quite a few people here wanted to be teachers. We've got here doctor, businesswoman, president, musician, singer, lawyer, well, a cat, similar to the panda, a princess. A princess. That's wonderful. A pineapple. Okay, some great ideas. So this is really making me laugh. Okay, so we've got loads of fantastic ideas there. Gibran wanted to be a Spark content creator. Okay, right. Amazing. Okay, so very interesting. What's the theme here? What are we talking about? What do you think today's lesson is about? Opportunities. And there's about the future. Yes, about the future. Occupation. Great. What's a word that collocates, that matches with opportunity? chances, okay, future job. Yeah, we can talk about maybe job opportunities, right? So this is asking about jobs, right? So this is the type of opportunity. Let's do another question. I enjoyed that one. How about this one? When you were at school, can you tell me what did you enjoy at school? I enjoyed at school. Lunch. Owen enjoyed his lunch at school, and I'm sure you still do. Recess, break time, literature, reading, games, drawing, English. Ellen, great. Glad to hear it. I enjoyed choir practice, Suzu. Sports, same as me, Seema. That's what I would have put. I enjoyed sports at school. Tests. Diana enjoyed tests. I think you're probably in the minority there. English, eating. Okay, great. And some really nice ideas here. Thank you for participating. You got some great ideas. Okay, one more question. Number 3. I hoped that when I was older, I would what? What did you hope to do when you were older? So for me, I wanted, when I was at school, I hope when I was older, I would go to university. That was my goal when I was at school. I just wanted to get to university. I couldn't see much further than that, but that's what I wanted to do. Ellen wanted to be rich. Andrea wanted to travel. Jumel wanted to have social interaction. Another one, be rich, be successful, have it all, be a soldier, earn a fortune, make a difference, Marissa. That's lovely. Okay, I want to make a difference. And as a teacher, I'm sure you do make a difference. I want to live in Japan. I hoped I would travel the world, live, establish a small cafe. Right. Okay. So here we're talking about our dreams, aren't we? The dream that we had when we were young. Okay. Become a billionaire, escape my small, boring hometown. Did you do it, Harmony? Did you escape your small, boring hometown? Seema wanted to travel to the UK. Great. And Harmony did escape. Wow, this is a wonderful, happy story. Okay, so nice to see your ideas there. What we're doing here, there are many ways we could do this. It's a great warmer. I've actually taken this from the teacher's book, the teacher's guide from Life 3rd edition. What you're looking at now are the instructions here. It says, close the books, give students strips of paper, get them to complete these strips. And then it suggests here you can do them, put them into a hat in each group, read them out and try and guess who said which one. There are lots of ways we could do this kind of activity. One of the ways I like to do it, I would pick one. For example, number 1, when I was a child, I wanted to be get everyone in the class to do it, put them all in a box at the front and then distribute them randomly to people, get them to walk around the classroom and ask people the question, what did you want to be when you were a child? And try to find the owner, the person who wrote that statement, and then give it back to them. Okay, so everyone is trying to retrieve their piece of paper. It's a really nice way to get people discussing and mingle, get them talking to everyone in the group. But there are lots of things you could do with this kind of strips of paper activity. Just wanted to show you, this is just one example. There are so many great activities like this in the teacher's guide. If you're using one of our programs, make sure you're looking in there for lesson ideas. Okay, so what we're going to do now, okay, we are going to go over to my Spark account and we're going to start the lesson. So just a reminder, we're doing a lesson from Life 3rd edition and we're going to be using the Spark, which is our digital platform. So I'm going to stop sharing for a second. And I'm going to do a new share, a screen share, and we're going to be looking at this. Okay, so now you should be looking at my Spark account. It's in my browser. Can you just let me know if that's what you're looking at? What can you see on the screen there? Yes, okay, someone said yes, that's great. Thanks, Andrea. Okay, so I think we're all looking at the right thing. Okay, yeah, there's a few boxes. There's not much I can do about that. I'm going to try and put the box down there. That should make it a little bit better. Okay, right, so what we are looking at now is my Spark account. This is for instructors, okay, and this has got all my digital tools, okay, are on here. And what we're looking at today, as I said, we're going to be using this one, which is called dynamic lessons. So this is basically a way that you can plan and present your lesson. So if I click in here, you can see that we're using, this is actually a demo account. And later on, if you're interested, I can actually get you access to this. You can request access. So yeah, let's have a look. So let's dive straight in. So I'm going to click on here. And what we can see in here is that we have taken this lesson and we've broken this lesson down into slides. So every activity, every stage of this lesson has its own slide. And this lesson has a total of 22 slides. And we can see that in total, that is this lesson, if we do it like this, will take about 90 minutes to teach. So it's going to make it really easy for teachers to be able to plan their lessons and time their lessons. It's different to what we had before because everything is on a slide. Whereas before the classroom presentation tool, we just had kind of the whole lesson all on one page, right? So there's a lot of things we can do here. I can, for example, if I want to, I can change the order of these slides. Okay, I could put this here. Yeah, so we can kind of mix these around. I can duplicate slides and things like that. All right, so let's go in. We're going to click on this, okay, and we're going to start the lesson. We're going to walk through some of this stuff, and I hope we enjoy it. So the first thing we can do here, as I come into the first slide, you can see at the bottom here, this is slide 1 of 22 slides, and we've got this lovely image. We're talking about, or just now we were talking about jobs. Can you just type into the chat box for me what kind of jobs, or would you think about when you're looking at this image here? What kind of job field are we looking at? Right, how many says engineer? Okay, wonderful. So it could be engineering, robot engineer, robotics, okay, maybe coding. Okay, so we've got it's definitely we've got some good words here: engineer, scientist, sales, marketing, robotic engineering. So this is a kind of thing that I didn't study when I was at school. This is a new field, isn't it? And it's definitely one. It's definitely a STEM subject, so science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And this is something interesting, and it's probably something that a lot of kids are now studying at school. Which maybe we didn't when we were young. We know that things are changing very quickly. So let me just show you the rest of the slide. So on this slide, we've got that lovely image. We've got the name of the lesson. We've got our lesson's goals here. So something I can do, which is really nice when I'm using dynamic lessons, I can, if I want to, I can highlight things. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to be looking at this word focus. We're going to be doing some reading, the future of work, and we're going to be doing some grammar, okay, on prediction. So I can highlight to the students very clearly, okay, what we're going to do. And maybe I'm going to say, but we're not going to do today. We don't have time. We're not going to be doing the pronunciation and the speaking. So we've got some very clear tools. Okay, it's really easy for our students to see. If I want to, I can also resize that text to make it bigger so that everyone, even if I'm in a classroom with a small screen with the students at the back of the classroom, they can definitely see that. I can make the text as big or as small as I like by using that slider there. So we've really designed this so it's visually very appealing for students. I just want to go in and just show you quickly. I can click on that button there and I can go into the classroom presentation tool. So this is what I usually use. And what you're looking at here is actually exactly what the students would see in their book. So if I want to refer them, okay, this is the spread, this is the lesson that we're doing, I can easily do that. And here on the classroom presentation tool, I could do what I just did just there with you. I could scroll in, I can show you this image, but I can't isolate it. I've still got the text there, so I can't focus their attention completely just on the image, or maybe I could if I did it like that. But it doesn't look as nice as it did on the dynamic lessons. I can also show students the goals up here at the top of the screen. But again, it's not quite as easy to isolate the text and focus attention. So I think that's something that dynamic lessons does really, really nicely. Okay, I've just noticed that that's gone huge, so I'm going to make that smaller. Okay, feel free to type into the chat box. Okay, any comments? Okay, you've got regarding regarding what I'm showing you. Okay, happy to hear your feedback. I say this is a brand new tool, and yeah, we're excited to show people about it. So the first thing. The first part of the lesson is word focus, and we're talking about jobs, we're talking about work. We've got some vocabulary work here called a word focus, and we're looking at the word job and work. So let's go through, and you can help me do this activity. Remember, you are my students today. So I'm just going to highlight the text. It says which bold words are nouns and which one is a verb. So we've got here a lot of jobs are quite boring, but my job has a lot of variety. So let's just highlight these here. Okay, and we'll notice straight away, okay, we've got the same word, but one of them has an S, and we've got a lot of at the beginning here. So let's take those two first, and maybe you can help me here. I want you to tell me, this one here, so jobs, okay, if we think about that word there, jobs, is that a noun or is that a verb? Someone's told me it's a noun, so I'm going to click there. So how do we know that jobs is a noun? So first of all, we've got this S here, okay, so we've got the plural S. And if we look up here, it says a lot of, right? So when we say a lot of, okay, it means it's we're counting something, we're giving a quantity, so it must be a noun, right? Okay, here it says my job has lots of variety. So we've got my, okay, got possessive pronoun my. Okay, so we know that this is also going to be a noun. Okay, let's look at sentence two. Sentence two, it says, my sister works as a firefighter. It can be hard work. So here we've got works, and that also has an S on it. And I'd like you to tell me, someone's put in here works is a verb. Right now, can anyone tell me why works is a verb? So here we had jobs that had an S, okay, and we said that was a noun, but this one we're saying is a verb. Why is that a verb? How can we explain that? Right, because it's talking about an action. So it has got an S, Gibran, but also, as we said earlier, jobs also has an S, and that's not a verb. So it has an S, that's one thing. It's giving us an action. So what we've got here, we've got a person, right? So here we've got my sister, we've got somebody, and they are doing something. Okay, so here, the work, this is an action. So if we have a word that comes directly after a subject, a person, if it's somebody doing something, then we know that that is a verb. Okay, so we can say that that is an action. Okay, so my sister works as a firefighter. This is the action. Okay. Now look up here, we've got a lot of jobs are quite boring. So here, if we look before the jobs, there's not a person here. It's not anybody. It says a lot of, which means how much, right? But there's no person there. Great. How about the last one? So this one is a verb. How about work then? It says here, it can be hard work. How about that one? Is there a person here? Is there somebody doing something? No, there isn't. Okay, there's no person there, so that means it's going to be a noun. Okay, now if we look at this noun here, it can be hard work. Okay, that one, is this noun, is it something that you can see? Is it something that you can touch? Something you can see, something you can touch? Or is it something different? It's not, is it? So it's not something we can see or touch. So what we call that, okay, work, okay, in this case, we call this an abstract noun. Okay, so work is an abstract noun. It's a concept, it's an idea. Okay, it's not something we can see or touch. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, we didn't check the answers, did we? So we should check those. So if I go over here, okay, I'm just going to check them and make sure we got them right. Okay, and we can see we got, oh, I didn't do that one. Okay, verb as well. I took that one in there. Okay, I can start again. Okay, so noun, noun, verb, noun. Okay, and if I click this, it tells us we got the answers right. If you want to, okay, you can just click this show next answer, and the dynamic lessons will actually do it for you. Great. Okay, so we've done some nice grammar work, well, word work there, I should say, okay, vocabulary work. And what we just talked about just now should help you with this, right? So we've got two sentences. Let's have a look at them. A lot of jobs are quite boring, but my job has lots of variety. Okay, my sister works as a firefighter. It can be hard work. So what we want to do here, we want to talk about which noun is a countable noun, which one can we count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and which one is uncountable, okay, which we can't count. So maybe you can help me with this one. So what do we think? Which of these is a countable noun? Is it job or is it work? Okay, to give you a clue, okay, look for the noun which has the S on it, okay, because it has an S, it means we can count it, 1, 2, and I can see that you have got that correct. So let's show the answer. The answer is job. Okay, and as I mentioned earlier, work, okay, which I mentioned there, this is actually what we call an abstract. This is an abstract noun. I can put a note in here, okay, so that we can remember that. Can anyone give me another example of an abstract noun? So another noun which is uncountable, which is describing a concept, yeah, dignity, perception, love. Okay, so all of these things, okay, they are things, okay, we understand them, but they're not something that we can see, not something that we can touch. It is an idea, a concept that we understand, but we can't measure it. You can't measure love. You can't have one love, two loves, three loves. I love you three. Okay, it doesn't make sense, right? So in English, at least, it doesn't make sense. Freedom, doubt. We've got lots of these abstract nouns coming out here. That's perfect. You obviously understand the concept very, very well. Wonderful. Okay, let's move on. Oh, before we do move on, actually, I just wanted to share with you. So this, what I'm talking about here, this abstract noun, this is actually, I can show you, this is from the teacher's book. So I'm just going to do a new share, and I'll just do a full screen share. And we'll go and have a look in here. So yeah, this is the teacher's book for life. We've got the whole you've got all the different information you need here. And under this section called teacher development, it's actually got instructions for how you can teach this. Like I actually used this just now, and it tells you you can teach that this is an abstract noun. So there's really a lot of great information here which you can use, okay, when you're teaching your classes. Someone gave me a thumbs up. That's great to see. Okay, let's move on, okay, to the next part of the lesson. And here we got some questions. So this is a nice activity where we're just going to go through and we're going to choose, okay, whether these we're going to use jobs, work, or work. So the first one says, do you or study? So what do we think? What can we put in there? Maybe we'll do a few of these together. Do you... Letty's telling me work. Okay, now we've got a person here, haven't we? It's saying you. So we've got a person doing something. Okay, so we know it's got to be a verb. So it can't be job. It's got to be a verb. And when we use you, okay, this is a singular verb. So it's going to be do you work or study? Fantastic. Next one, what is your dream? Now this is it's not a person, it's asking about a thing because it's something that belongs to you, possessive pronoun. What is your dream job? Okay, great. So we want to have the noun there. What is your dream job? Next one, have you ever had a part-time? We're going to go with job. Okay, good. All right. And again, okay, so this is have you. So we got a person, but we've already got a verb here. We got the verb to have. A part-time, that's an adjective describing a noun, so we know we need the noun. Have you ever had a part-time job? Fantastic. How about number 4? Are any of your friends at... Okay, any of your friends at, and we're going to put in here work. Okay, at work, at the place of work. Okay, so this is the noun. Okay, at work right now. Okay, well done. Right, should we check those and see if we've got them right? Well, I'll tell you what else we can do. Let's show the next answer. Let's go through. So we've got job. We don't have time to do all of these. And then we're going to show all the answers. Okay, so these are correct. Okay, it hasn't corrected me. I'm going to reset the slide. Okay, and just make sure that we're all got them all right. Okay, there we go. Do you work or study? So make sure that we got all the answers correct. And we did. Okay, congratulations. All right, we can also go on to the next slide. And I believe on the next slide, yeah, we've actually got the same questions here. So notice here, it's the way that Dynamic Lessons is presenting this. Every single thing we do, every little part of the task has its own slide. So it's so easy for everybody, all the students in the class, to focus their attention. I like that, Michael. Great job, everyone. Nice work. Okay, very, very good. Okay, and here, okay, we're looking at those questions. So now next it would be a work in pair activity where we would discuss. And before we do the discussion, what I would like to do here is maybe give some alternative questions. Okay, so what we could do, what I like to do, I like to add some alternatives in, right? So here it says, are any of your friends at work right now? So at work means they're actually in the office doing the work. I'd like to give an alternative here. So here we've got a preposition at. Are there any other phrases you can think of which use prepositions using work? So we've got at work and we've got out. Can you think of another preposition we can add here for another phrase we use to do with work? It actually means unemployed. Yeah, so Harmony, yeah, go to work is a good one. Okay, it's a very common phrase. Ellen's got it. So we could say here out of work, and then I could teach my students that that means unemployed. Okay, so we could have at work, okay, means they're in the office. Or we could also have out of work. Are any of your friends out of work right now? That means that they are unemployed or not working. Maybe they're choosing not to work. So what might be a nice idea there? Okay, if I highlight that phrase at work, okay, and then students can understand that this out of work is the equivalent to out of work. Okay, between jobs, great. Let's have a look at another one. I'm going to do number 6. Can you name 3 well-paid jobs? So I think that's a common collocation, right? A well-paid job. But money isn't the only thing that's important about jobs, is it? There are other things that we might want to talk about. So I'm going to add a note here. Can you think of another adjective that we might use to talk about a job which could replace well-paid? So can you name 3 well-paid jobs? Can you name 3 jobs? So what, to ask a different question, what other adjectives? Rewarding? Great. And that's wonderful. It's a really nice collocation we can have. Can you name 3 rewarding jobs? And we often people talk about, what's a good job? A good job might be one that's well paid. A good job might be one that is also rewarding. Lucrative, high salary. Okay, great. So you're giving me here a lucrative job. So that's high level vocabulary, which has the same meaning as well paid, right? Important job, profitable. Great. Okay, so let's do a couple of these. Let's start off with number 6. I think that's an interesting one. Something that is nice to do. Maybe you don't want to do all these 8 questions in class. Maybe you could ask your students, which of these questions would you like to discuss? In fact, let's do that now. Can you type into the chat box for me? Which of these questions do you think is the most interesting? Just put a number into the chat box. Which is the most interesting question? Someone put number 2, number 3, 7. Okay, so a lot of you are putting number 3. Number 2, sorry. A lot of you are putting number 6. Okay, well, let's do number 2 and number 6. So how about that one? What is your dream job? Can you tell me in the chat box, what is your dream job? Okay, that's because of my chat box. See, I need to see the screen. I need to show you the screen and I need to read my chat box. Okay, what have we got? So dream jobs. Let's hear your dream job, number 2, right? So again, if I want to make this really clear, okay, which question we're doing, okay, I'm just going to grab that, okay, and I'm going to draw a little box around it. Okay, I can draw a little arrow, okay, and I can make it very clear to you. This is the question that we're doing now, okay? So we've got CEO, oceanographer. Wow, so good. That's a really interesting job. Teacher. Marinella, you're doing a dream job. Copy editor, teacher, army. Okay, soldier in the army, home executive. I'm not sure what home executive means. Does that mean running a company from home? Does sound good. Albert's actually written the whole sentence. Great, which is what we want our students to do. My dream job is to be a pilot or a doctor. Wonderful. Okay, let's also, a lot of you also said number 6. So now I'm going to focus your attention. Right, so I'm going to get rid of what I did there. We're going to focus your attention on number 6. Okay, and I'm going to draw a circle around it. I'm going to do my big arrow there. Okay, and now I would like you to tell me, okay, can you tell me 3 well-paid jobs? 3 well-paid jobs. Effie's done it: surgeon, lawyer, and doctor. Great. Pilot, doctor, engineer, doctor, athlete, CEO. Rebecca, that's interesting. Athlete is interesting. I guess if you are really a top-level athlete, you might be earning a lot of money, but I think most athletes, the majority of athletes, probably don't earn that much, really. I like watching tennis, and I know even if you could be in the top 100 tennis players in the world, even just, you could be ranked 60th in the world and not really earn that much money. Someone's put here con artist. Could be, but also dangerous. Okay. 3 well-paid jobs are doctor, politician, and police officer. Great. Thank you, Neo. So politician, again, I think it depends where you are. Certainly here in Singapore, the politicians are very well paid indeed. Lawyer, doctor, and actor. And we could have a nice discussion here, and we can get our students to choose which of these they would like to discuss. We can also get our students to suggest some alternatives so that, they have a bit of choice in what they're talking about. But importantly, they're still practicing this vocabulary, okay, which we've just been teaching them. Okay, great. Thank you. That was really nice. Really nice activity there. Yeah, I think the ideas can come from the students themselves, and then they're invested in it. They're more, they'll enjoy the activity more if they have helped come up with the ideas. Okay, let's move on to the reading. So next we're going to do a reading activity. I know, Tam, you've got the black shape is the chat box, but I need to see the chat box so I can communicate with you. I'm doing my best to keep it out of the way, okay? All right, so we're going to move on to the reading activity. I'm going to put the boxes down there for a minute so you can't see them. And I want to show you how Dynamic Lesson presents the reading activities. We've got some important information. We've got the page number, we've got the unit, we've got the exercise at the top. We've got the reading itself, which I can scroll up and down. If I want to, I can make the text much bigger. Okay, if I've got students, right in a very large classroom, I think I'm going to put that as medium. I'm going to put it there. Okay, I think that's big enough. As you're all on screens, you should be able to read that fine. Again, I can have that nice picture there. I can scroll up and down and show the whole reading. I've actually got audio for the reading as well. So if I wanted to do this as a listening, I could. If I wanted to offer extra support as they're reading to help them understand more, I can play it. I can actually control the speed of the audio as well. I can have it slower or faster. So there's loads of stuff I can do here, and I've got the activity over here on the right so they can see the question. So everything they need for this reading activity is right here on this slide, okay? This is a massive advantage because it means that I can get my students to close their books and look at me, look at the screen, and I can see everybody's faces. So I can see that they're looking at me. I can see they're paying attention, and their faces are for me, a type of formative assessment. I can see, are they frowning? Do they look confused? Are they nodding their heads? Are they shaking their heads? Are they asleep? Okay, I can see all of these things by looking directly at their faces. So this is really important for the teacher as a classroom management tool. And I think that Dynamic Lessons does this really, really well. Okay, so shall we have a go at this reading? We're going to read it and we're going to listen at the same time. And we're going to do the activity here. So let's read the activity. I'm going to do some highlights here. So it says here, read the article and match the paragraphs A to C with 3 of these topics, 1 to 4. So it's a matching activity, okay? Marinella says, can I select only parts of the screen to show them? You can, yeah. So for example, here, if I click this button, okay, I can get rid of the task and I can just focus on the text itself, okay? So I can do that. Okay, or I can get that back there. So yeah, I can focus on certain parts, or I can show them just the image, for example. So yeah, I can focus on just some parts of the slide. Okay, so notice here we've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, but we've only got 3 paragraphs A to C. So quick question for you. Are we going to use all 4 of these topics in this activity? No. Okay, why not? Because we've only got A, B, and C. We've only got 3 paragraphs, okay? So make sure we quick concept checking question there. All right, let's read these. So number 1, it says preparing for the kind of work we will do in the future. Okay. Number 2, jobs that people will always do. Number 3, jobs that won't exist in the future. And number 4, how work might change in the future. Okay, so just to remind you, we're going to listen and read, and we're going to match A, B, and C to these topics here. All right, are you ready to go? I'm going to move the chat box down, okay, when we start the activity. We're going to start playing, and we're going to read and listen, okay?
The future of work. Are you future ready? The world of work is changing. The Institute for the Future, an independent research and educational organisation, has predicted that 85% of the jobs that we will do in the future haven't even been invented yet. How should today's children prepare for jobs that don't currently exist?
Okay, so we've just done the introduction there. Okay, question for you. Are we going to match the introduction to one of these topics on the right? Do we need to match that? No, we don't. Okay, that is right. Very clever, Nu. Okay, because we're only doing A, B, and C. Okay, let's listen to paragraph A.
The days of the traditional job for life have disappeared. We certainly won't have the same career for decades as people used to. In addition, machines, robots, and artificial intelligence, AI, will continue to replace humans in the workplace. Skilled work that involves data analysis or is repetitive or mechanical can be done more quickly and more efficiently that way. Advances in technology mean that many more of us will probably work from home. We might never go to an office again.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it there, and I'm going to leave that there. I'll put my chat box over here. Okay, so have a look at the 4 headings that we've got here. All right, and can anyone tell me which of these headings do we think paragraph A matches with? Just have a little think about it. So it's talking about traditional job for life might have disappeared. Okay, so someone's saying here 3 or 4. So number 3, most of you are putting number 3, right? Okay, so we'll put that in. Okay, let's put in paragraph A. Okay, all right, so most of you said 3, so let's put 3. Okay, let's listen to the next paragraph.
The things we need to learn and train for are obviously changing too. A report by the World Economic Forum suggests that skills will be more important than knowledge, especially the skills that add value to the jobs that will be automated. These will probably include problem solving, creative thinking, digital literacy, and a range of interpersonal skills.
Okay, so let's pause here. Okay, have a look at paragraph B. Okay, it's talking about things we need to learn. Okay, these are changing. There's a report, it mentions here, skills. Okay, these will probably include problem solving, creative thinking, digital literacy. Okay, so have a look. Which of these do you think we might need to do? What do we get a match with? Everyone's saying 1 for this one, preparing for the kind of work we need to do. Okay, it's talking about learning. That seems reasonable. Okay, so let's put that in. Okay, and listen to paragraph C.
Of course, there are careers that will probably always need people. For example, one study predicts that nurses, doctors, and vets won't be at risk of losing their jobs to a robot. On the other hand, airline pilots may not be so lucky. The risk of automation is 32%. Predicting the future isn't easy, but one thing is certain. It will be very different from today, and we need to be future ready.
Okay, so paragraph C. What do we think? Okay, Ellen, New, Rebecca, you're all putting number 2. All right, so that are we happy with that? And so we'll put for this one does not appear in the text. Okay, so we're saying B, C, A in that order. 1B, 2C, 3A. Okay, so everyone happy with that? Okay, so we can check the answers, right? Okay, so we're going to check the answers. Okay, we can see, so we've got these last 2 wrong. Okay, so should we have a look at that? So for number 3, okay, we put paragraph A, jobs that won't exist in the future. So let's have a look at this. So paragraph A, we certainly won't have same career for decades. Okay, now it's talking about how work is going to change. It talks about how skilled work that involves data analysis or mechanical might be done by AI, but it doesn't give us particular jobs. It's not naming jobs which are not going to exist in the future. So it's not actually giving us specific jobs, right? And I think this is why the answer is not paragraph A. I think this is talking about how work might change in the future, right? So it says here we'll have more AI. Okay, AI will replace us. So that's a change. Skilled work, okay, will be done by AI. Many of us will work from home. Okay, so this is talking about how work might change in the future. Okay, so let's just reset the slide. Okay, and we could try that again. Okay, and we could show these are the answers here. So it's quite a tricky question, that one. But yeah, as I said, it's not telling us specific jobs that won't exist in the future. It's more talking about general kind of changes, right? Okay, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Again, I just really want to sort of draw your attention to the features here that we can, it's really nicely set out so we can see, we can listen, we can read, and we can see the questions all at the same time, which is a really, effective way of presenting this. Just want to show you as well here, if we wanted to slow this down for our students, let me show you.
The future of work. Are you future ready?
So if we wanted to slow it down for weaker students so they can still follow along, they can really kind of listen to the words, it's going to help them understand, going to help with pronunciation. Yeah, I think that is, a fantastic feature. It's really going to help our students as well. Marinella has made a great point. Wrong answers are opportunities for discussions. Exactly. And what we would do in the classroom, if the answers were wrong, what I would do in the classroom, I'd say, okay, we'll work with your partner. I want you to try and discuss. I want you to find out, why do you think it is wrong? We got it wrong. Why is it wrong? Okay, work with a partner, and then maybe some of the students who got it right, they could teach someone who got it wrong, okay, and show them in the text, okay, why they put the answer that they did. You're absolutely right. Okay, right. So there's another activity here. It says find the predictions for the future in the article about these things. Okay, so here we're going to be looking for some predictions. So the type of work that today's children will do. Okay, so if we have a look at this paragraph here, the introduction, we're looking for children. Okay, and we can see in here, it does say here children. All right. 85% of the jobs that we will do in the future haven't even been invented yet. So can anyone type into the chat box for me, what kind of prediction can we get from here? The type of work that today's children will do. So by digesting this information here, I think this bit is probably the important part. So it will be vastly different and haven't been invented yet, right? So the type of work that today's children will do, okay, these jobs haven't been invented yet. Okay, if we wanted to make that as a prediction, they will have new jobs. Okay, right. So these jobs haven't been invented yet, so we might make a prediction like this. Children will have new jobs that haven't been invented yet. Great. That's interesting, Sasaki. You've put 85% of current jobs would disappear. That's true. If 85% of jobs are new, that's true. 85, it's an interesting way of thinking about it. It means a lot of the jobs we have now won't exist anymore. It's quite scary to think of it like that, isn't it? Okay, let's do another one. How about office work? So have a look at paragraph A, okay, and see if you can come up with a prediction about office work. I'm going to make the text a bit bigger, and then I can focus your attention more on paragraph A, okay? So just like that, okay, I can really increase the size of the text, and now it makes it much easier for you to focus on that paragraph. Harmony's made a good point. She says, we don't know, how computers will advance. We don't know what those jobs will be. That's a great point, Harmony. And I think, what we advocate in National Geographic Learning is that we want to give our students skills, future ready skills, soft skills, which can be applied to a huge variety of jobs. So something like critical thinking, okay, if you are a good critical thinker, that's going to help you in pretty much every job, right? So in that way, it doesn't really matter what type of job you might have in the future, because that skill of critical thinking can be applied to any job. And that's what we want to do through our English teaching materials. Right, okay, so here we go. Have we got any predictions here? So from paragraph A, we're talking about office work, right? Office work. Here we go. We might never go to the office again. Great. And we could phrase that another way. We might all work from where? From home. Okay, so we could put in a couple of predictions like that. So what we're doing here is we're analyzing the text, but we're also getting students to look at the predictions, the guesses, okay, about what might happen in the future. And why are we doing that? Okay, well, we're doing that because when we go on to the next slide, okay, or we will see that the lesson is actually a grammar lesson, okay? Now here, what we'd also do, we'd get our students to discuss this. Okay, do you think this will happen? Maybe we'll do that one very quickly. So what do you think about that final prediction? Do you think in the future, do you think that everyone will work from home? Interested to hear your views on this one. So I'm going to put a note on here. Okay, so what do we think? Let's hear your opinions on this one. Will everybody work from home in the future? No, not everyone. So maybe if we could have a little bit of of a reason why. Why do we think not everyone will work from home? Harmony says, of course not. We are social animals, right? So it's not, there's something, if we don't go to the office, we're missing out on that human contact. Yeah, we need to interact. Many jobs must be developed. You must be there to develop. Not really at all. The people living in poverty won't have a choice. Not everyone. Right. So we're getting a lot of people saying no. How about if we change that to will more people work from home in the future? How about that? If I change it, do you think this is a trend? More people work from home now than 10 years ago. Do you think in 10 years' time, this trend will continue? Yeah, so everyone's saying yes. Right, so in that case, where is the cutoff point? What do we think? So we all think more people will work from home, but nobody thinks everyone will work from home, right? So this is where it's interesting. This is where we start to think, getting our opinions across. How can you justify your ideas? And we do bring in some of that critical thinking, right? Okay, really interesting. Right, we could talk about this a lot, but we don't have time. So we're going to have a quick look over here. Just want to show you a little bit about like the grammar here, the way it's presented. So here, we've got a very nice, clear grammar presentation. We just did predictions. We talked about the future. We did predictions. Very logical that we're going to go into our grammar point here. We could do something really nice here. Like I could highlight some of this. I could highlight these ones here in one color, and then I could highlight the other ones in a different color. So I've got two colors here, yellow and red. Can anyone tell me what the difference is between the yellow ones and the orange ones in terms of how we feel when we say or when we use those phrases? So if I say robots will do these jobs, robots will do these jobs. Robots won't do these jobs. Or I say robots may do these jobs. Robots will probably do these jobs. What's the difference? Right, yeah, so there's a difference in certainty, right? There's a difference in the confidence. So the yellow ones, what do the yellow ones mean? They're more certain, right? The yellow ones are more certain. And I would say that the speaker of the yellow ones, they feel that is really going to happen, right? They feel sure, right? So I'm going to put up here, they feel sure, okay? The orange ones, on the other hand, how do they feel for the orange ones? Yeah, so they're not sure, okay? So this one they feel sure, this one they feel unsure. Shall I put that? So it's more consistent. I can put here they feel unsure, right? So we can easily, again, using this tool, it's really easy. I can just highlight there the colors. I can put that. If I want to make it even more clear, I could use my pen here. I could draw an arrow, okay, like that, okay, something like that. Okay, so I can, it's very, very visual tool. There's plenty of white space around it. It's making it very, very clear, very easy for my students to understand, right? Let's go on to the next slide. We've then got another really nice grammar presentation here. We can go through this, okay, we can make sure that our students understand it. Again, I can annotate, I can add things, I can highlight, we can go through. So this is actually from the back of the book, right? So this grammar summary you would find in the book, it's on page 160, but instead of having to have pages, students flip through to the back of their book, then flip back onto the page, so I don't know what they're looking at, I can just put it on the screen here and everybody can really see that clearly, right? So yeah, again, really nice way of presenting this content to my students. Here again, we're going to some more definition here. This is similar to what I just showed you here. I think here, interesting here, I often used to teach this. When I used to teach it, I used to say it was 100%. But remember, we're talking about the future, and nothing is certain to happen in the future, is it? We can't, the future is uncertain. I think that's why we've put 95% here. And also why we might talk about the difference between feeling and reality, right? I might be 100% sure it's going to happen, but that doesn't mean it's really going to happen, does it? Okay, it's likely to happen, but maybe it won't. I can definitely be wrong about that. And as Marinella said here, bringing the feeling into the explanation is a nice touch. It makes it easier for us to relate to, right? Okay, so really nice grammar explanation. We go into here, we link it to the reading. What we're going to do next, we're going to go through and we're going to actually highlight the future forms in the article using my highlighter. So we're looking for this grammar. So the grammar's there. Okay, and we go through, here we go. I can see we will do, okay, scanning through here. Okay, we might never go. So, we're actually using this nice big highlighter that they're searching through the text to look for those structures themselves. Okay, I can check the answers. There we go. We can see that's correct. Wish I had more time. Okay, there's loads of nice activities here. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through all of these, but you can see, hopefully you can see that there's a huge variety of task types in here. Everything's nicely presented, really clear. Every tool that we need is definitely here already. Right, I'm going to go back because we've only got 5 minutes left. So I'm going to stop sharing. Actually, I wanted to show you one more thing before we did. I wanted to show you this just before we go back. So what I was showing you there is a ready-made lesson, right? That's the publisher lesson that we have created. It is 90 minutes long. It has 22 slides. I just want to show you what I made earlier. So here, let's say I wanted to make a lesson which was shorter. I wanted to do a 1 hour lesson. So what I can do, I can actually go in and I can delete some of the sections. So what I've done here is I've hidden that word focus that we did earlier about work and job. I've hidden that. And I've also hidden the pronunciation. So I've removed the vocabulary and the pronunciation parts so that we've just got a reading and grammar lesson with a speaking activity at the end to practice the grammar. And that makes it exactly 58 minutes long. Now, what I could do with that, okay, if I was working in a school, if I was the coordinator, what I could do is I could set up that class. Okay, if I know I have 1 hour lessons in my school, and as the administrator, I could, after I've set that up, I could actually share this lesson with every teacher who is teaching this course. I can put it into their account and I can call this lesson number 1 or whatever it is. Okay, lesson number 1, reading and grammar, 60-minute lesson. Okay, and then every single teacher has that lesson. It's standardized across the whole school. Everybody's doing the same thing. Okay, and the management know that we're offering a consistent professional lesson to all of our students. And I think that is going to be a really, really powerful feature, which we definitely can't do with something like a classroom presentation tool. Got a couple of questions here. Let's have a look. What will students need to do to keep a copy of your notes and highlighting and everything? So yeah, so at the moment, yeah, the students could take a photo of it. We don't have the ability yet, okay, to be able to share that. But in the future, we will have this so that the lessons you do in class, you'll be able to save all your annotations and eventually you'll be able to share those with the students. But at the moment, they could just take a photo. Okay, let's go back into my slides. Okay, actually, I don't even need to go into the slides. Let's just wrap up from here, right? So I hope that you've enjoyed, okay, looking at the content from the lesson today. I hope you found it interesting. I want to share a couple of things with you. So the content that we've looked at today, as I mentioned earlier, is for our adult program. It's the 3rd edition of Life. I'm just putting the link into the chat box now if you want to go and have a look at that. And you can find some really great information here. You can see on the screen now, it is a 6-level course for adult learners from beginning to advanced. If you would like to get some free downloads, if you can click on here in downloads, and you can actually download all of these whole units as PDFs, which you'd be able to use in your classroom. There's a whole load from every level you can get there. You can also request a Spark sample by clicking on this button here, which I'm also going to put into the chat box. Oh, Marinella is using the 2nd edition. Well, the 3rd edition is even better than the 2nd edition, Marinella. So this form here, if you would like to get a trial of what I was showing you today, you can fill in your information, your details here. You go and select Live 3rd edition. Okay, and then we will actually give you a fully working Spark demo so that you can try it out for yourself. Okay, you could use it in your classroom. I would also like to share with you our webinar page. So thank you for joining me today for this webinar, and I'm going to share this webinar page. So if you'd like to find out what other webinars we've got coming up, we've got one on the 6th of November, and you can also find here all of our past webinars. If you're interested in doing some professional development, and you can search by segment. So let's say, for example, you are teaching teenagers, you can click teenagers, and you're interested in learning about, let's say, 21st century skills or critical thinking. So you can click there, and you will find there are 2 webinars here, which will show you how to implement critical thinking for teen lessons, okay? So it's fully searchable. You can get some great information here. Yeah, it's a good tip here. Jiman says, thanks a lot. I use 2 screens to avoid having stuff blocking my screen. Yeah, it's a good idea, Gibran. Thanks for the feedback. I know it's a bit of a problem. I don't have a second screen. Maybe I should get one. Yeah, so thanks very much for that tip, and thank you for joining us, everyone. Just want to remind you one more time, okay, what we've been looking at today. This is our new piece of software. It is called Dynamic Lessons. It's brand new. You're not going to find this with any other publisher. Only we have it. And as you saw, it is a way of breaking your lesson down into individual slides, which have all of the content you need in one place, which is going to make you deliver fantastic lessons. And in terms of planning, you can fully customize your lessons. You can change the order, delete slides. You can move slides from one lesson into another lesson so that you can do review or something like that. So we've got all of these fantastic ways of improving the planning and delivery of your lessons. So I'm really excited about it. I hope you enjoyed what you saw today. I hope you're excited about it as well. I'm going to have a look here and see if I'm going to stop sharing for a second, see if I have any other questions to answer. Lots of people saying they found it interesting. I'm happy. I'm very happy to hear that. Elias has been learning with us since 2017. That's fantastic. 7 years. I've got to see people raising their hands here. If you were raising your hand, it'd be easier if you type a question into the Q&A and then I could answer that for you. Okay, so if you do have a question, please type it into the Q&A box and I'll have a go answering it. I'm going to stop. The webinar's over now. We are over time. If you would like to stay and ask a question, you can. Is this appropriate for middle high schoolers, beginning intermediate? I mean, I think the LIFE program, Ellen, it is designed for young adult and adult students. I think students who are, maybe from sort of 15, 16, I think it would be appropriate for them. Yeah. I think, sort of 12-year-olds, it might be a bit too much and, they won't have experience in a lot of things. But I think for maybe 15, 16-year-olds and up, that it will work. Yeah. Edmar's asking me, is there an e-certificate to be given? Yes, there is. We will send you an e-certificate in a few days. So we will send you a follow-up email, which will have an e-cert and also a link to the recording. If you'd like to follow us, I just put this up here. You could scan this QR code and you can join us on Facebook. And we will, you'll be able to keep up with everything that we're doing, okay, at National Geographic Learning in Asia. This is an Asia-specific webinar, but if you're not from Asia, that's fine as well. We welcome everybody. But yeah, follow us, yeah, we hope to see you again at another webinar soon. Elias, if you don't get your certificate, just send me an email, all right? Sometimes there's an issue because you might have accidentally unsubscribed or sometimes there are technical issues. If you don't get your certificate, please send me an email and I'll help you out, okay? Thanks, Diana. Glad that you enjoy my webinars. I enjoy having you here with me. Okay, perfect. Yes, you need a certificate. You will get one. Okay, just say one more time. If you don't get your e-certificate in an email from us after 3 or 4 working days, please send me an email. Reply to the email that invited you to this webinar, and then I will help you to get it, okay? Marinelli, yes. So to use the software that I was using today, to use Dynamic Lessons, you will, let me share my screen again. You do need software. So it is software. So Dynamic Lessons that I've shown you today, it's software that comes on our Spark platform. So our Spark platform is for teachers using our programs. So if your school is using one of our programs, Life, for example, then you will have access to the Spark platform. And some of our programs already have access to dynamic lessons. This, what I'm showing you today, is actually a demo. Okay, so Life, we only have a demo for dynamic lessons. It's brand new, but the full version will be coming soon. Salim, as I said, about 6 times now, maybe you just joined us, you will get an email from us within 3 or 4 days, which will have your e-certificate in it. Okay, so if you don't get an email from us within 3 or 4 days, please email me and we will send you your certificate. Okay, so Marinella, I hope that's clear. All of the software I'm showing you today is part of our digital platform, which supports schools using our programs. Okay, thanks everyone. Thanks for joining me. We're 5 minutes over. I'm going to end the webinar here. I hope to see you again soon. Okay, take care, everyone. Bye for now.